Well, another fine, smooth transition. Sorry about that, guys. I've been a little fat finger, I guess, last few times. But anyway, um, good to be here again with y'all. My name is Adam. This is the Adam Thomas Podcast, where we are cutting through the bullshit one propaganda turd at a time. Good morning, everybody. I am sorry about this. This one was not my fault in any way. StreamYard was down. I could not get on, and I gave up, and I was about ready to go to work, to my real job, and I decided to try it one more time, and guess what? It went. So I'm going to be a little crunched for time, but we're going to hang out for a few minutes, and mainly, I wanted this to be I guess you could say a teaser of more to come. There is a full documentary on this particular scenario, this thing that happened. This is another grieving widow. I don't know. Some of y'all may be familiar. If not, there are some very, very strange parallels to the current grieving widow that has been thrust onto all of us. Not saying everything exactly lines up, but there are some really strange parallels again. And I think if nothing else, we can use this as an example of just how an investigation should go, the reasons why it should go that way, and, the reason why we all feel like we all have these frustrations because certain people have been exempt from any scrutiny or investigations of any kind. So this is a very short clip. This is going to be a summary. We'll talk about it. But like I said, I meant for it to be more of a teaser than anything, just so I can kind of, y'all can get familiar with the case, and you'll know what's coming whenever we do the full version. So very, very interesting. Guys, thank y'all for piling in. I see y'all. With me and Miss Susan were just talking about that before y'all started coming in. I said I'm fixing to hit the go button. Maybe they'll show up. So, and y'all have not disappointed. Good morning, Brig, AC. How are y'all doing? Kelly, Oswald's last call. Yep, there's Keza. Sweet, and maybe some more will be in there to join y'all here before too long. So. Anyway, let me load this thing up in here so we can get this thing going. And y'all tell me what y'all think about this, and I really want to know what y'all think. If y'all think that there are some strange parallels like I do, obviously we don't believe in coincidences, but I guess you could call it coincidences. Hey, we'll see. And again, like I said, this is a very short, condensed version, so just wait till we get into the longer, the full documentary. It's really, really interesting to say the least. So, again, good morning. Thanks y'all for being here. This is going to have to be a short one, but I wanted to come hang out. I felt bad that I couldn't get it to go earlier, so here we are.
On March 4th, 2022. At around 3:20 a.m., a woman called 911, her voice shaking as she said her husband wasn't breathing. But by the time police arrived, something felt off. The man lying lifeless on the bed was Eric Richens, and the woman crying beside him was his wife, Curry Richens. At first, it looked like a tragic, natural death.
And this one obviously is better than, this one obviously is a better actor than Miss Erica because, it seems like she was at least able to squeeze an actual tear out. So I thought that was interesting.
But investigators would soon realize something chilling. This wasn't a sudden loss. It was a planned ending. And the person who called for help might have already known it was too late. That night, Corey had prepared a drink for Eric, a Moscow Mule, a normal drink, something any husband would accept without a second thought. But this one carried something invisible, something deadly. Prosecutors later revealed that the drink had been laced with fentanyl, a drug so powerful that even a tiny amount can shut down the human body. Eric drank it, went to sleep, and never woke up. The autopsy confirmed what no one expected. His body.
And, if you think about the fact that, he took this drink, from somebody that, he should have been able to trust, thought he could trust. And at the end of the day, obviously she did not have his well-being in mind at all. It kind of makes me think of, and all of this is alleged, none of this is confirmed, but it kind of makes me think about the whole situation the night before. There have been several people that have speculated that there was something strange going on with the necklace, and conveniently it supposedly, allegedly stayed in there in the bedroom with her that night, and then of course he got his necklace from her, and she's the one that gave it to him originally. So, nothing too direct or too straightforward there, but just kind of interesting. A lot of times it is the one that you love, and it's sad when you have to feel like you gotta sniff and taste test your food before you eat it. You're in a bad situation when it comes down to that.
Body contained a fentanyl level nearly 5 times the lethal dose. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a mistake. This was a silent execution, hidden inside something as harmless as a drink. And the most disturbing part? He trusted the person who gave it to him. What makes this case even more terrifying is that Eric had already seen the danger coming.
And, it kind of parallels also with, Charlie and the people that he trusted, not just Erica, his circle that he put around him. All of the people that he gave jobs to and made rich. All of those people that he handpicked or were handpicked and, thought he could trust with his whole heart, and I feel like he did trust them. And this is allegedly, obviously, but I feel like at the end of the day, that trust was misplaced bigly, and it's just sad.
Just 2 weeks before his death, on Valentine's Day, he had eaten a sandwich given to him.
Yes, Oswald's last call, and I can't remember if this touches on that in this little mini, the summarization video we're doing here. But I know for a fact we're going to get into that in the full documentary. So interesting parallels, as I was saying.
By Corey. Within moments, his body reacted violently. He broke out in hives, struggled to breathe, and came dangerously close to dying. He survived only because he used his son's EpiPen in time. But after that day, something changed. He reportedly told people close to him that he believed his own wife had tried to poison him.
Now, did Charlie ever say anything like that? No. But we all do know that there at the end, he suspected somebody of something because he did say he believed they were going to kill me. Who is the they? Yeah, right now it's kind of nebulous, we haven't got any kind of for sure 100% confirmation on that. We all have our thoughts and suspicions, but yeah. So Charlie was well aware that something was going on and that he couldn't trust somebody. I don't think. I don't know. He was well aware. He knew it. He said he was going. He said that he thought he was going to be killed, and a lot of people, including myself, have speculated that he was blinded by love and didn't realize what he was getting into. And I'm in the camp of like a lot of others that feel like he started to realize that, and I feel like he started to realize that about the circle of people that he had around him. Obviously, just the ones there at Turning Point, his inner circle there, but also his wife. There has been a lot of suggestions and speculations that the marriage was not doing well, and that possibly he was thinking of filing for a divorce. Obviously, that's not been proved out. It's all allegedly. But especially if that is indeed the case, you know, again, another parallel. He knew something was coming.
Imagine living with that fear, suspecting the person you sleep next to every night. And yet, despite that suspicion, he stayed. And just days later, that fear became reality. As investigators began digging into Corey's life, a darker picture started to emerge. She was under serious financial pressure, drowning in debt from multiple real estate deals and hidden financial decisions. At the same time, she was reportedly involved in an extramarital relationship, looking for a way out of her marriage. She wanted a new life, a different future. But there was one problem: her husband. Prosecutors argued that Eric's death could solve
Damn them pesky husbands. God. Such a inconvenience and such a...
everything. It could erase her financial struggles and give her the freedom she wanted.
That's when you're literally worth more dead than you are alive. And look, at the end of the day, at least in certain ways, Charlie was too. Yeah, I mean, who knows what he would have, you know, what he would have amassed over the years, but who knows what was amassed just in the past 6 months also. I mean, millions upon millions, and that doesn't include the, you know, the increase in donations and all of that, and also the increase, just the money that was straight up donated directly to her through like GoFundMe's or what have you. And besides that, all the merch sales, you know, all the replica shirts of the ones that he was killed in and all of that. So, you know, and the hat sales, the 55,000 hats. So there's no telling what was made. At the end of the day, I feel like he was worth more dead than alive, to her anyway, allegedly.
And when money, pressure, and desire collide, people can make decisions that cross every line. Eric had started to notice that something wasn't right. He uncovered financial irregularities and confronted Corey about them.
Oh, what does that remind y'all of? Oh, let's see. Let's change the COO and swap him out for somebody else after being there in that position for 8 years. And I want a Doge-style effort, not an audit, an effort. But obviously, there was some financial questions. Charlie had some questions about the finances, and it's funny how a lot of times in these stories, when those questions arise and they get asked, a lot of times they're gone before they can get the answer, which is, I guess, kind of the point.
What he found was enough to break his trust completely. He removed her from his life insurance policies and limited her access to his assets.
And yes, Charlie and Erica had an appointment for, I want to say, 5 days after like the 15th of September to go make, so all we know is make changes to his will. What do those include? We don't know. Will we ever know? Hopefully, probably not. But you never know. Maybe they were thinking of a divorce. Maybe they were going to make changes, you know, in that regard to the will. Maybe. I mean, just a thought. Absolutely no proof of that at this point in time. Allegedly. Just a curious, it's just a thought.
In that moment, everything changed. If Eric stayed alive, Corey would gain nothing. But if he didn't, the situation could be very different. That shift turned a troubled marriage into something far more dangerous. Because now, it wasn't just about emotions. It was about control, money, and what someone was willing to do to get both. After Eric
Control and money. Possibly like control over the Republican Party, control over the youth of America, control over, the evangelical group. Let's see. This starts applying to more and more people involved with Charlie and his close orbit, and some that aren't so close. Again, very interesting.
Eric's death, Corey didn't look like a killer. She looked like a grieving widow.
Now, that is one thing that she's got over Erica. At least she appeared to be a grieving widow, so I have to give her kudos for that. I'm sorry, Erica she can't do it. Everybody says that people grieve differently, and that is the truth. I mean, people do grieve differently. I'm still waiting on the grieving, though, so I can assess how different it is from other people.
She spoke publicly about her loss, about raising her children alone,
What's up, Elizabeth? Good to see you here.
about staying strong through pain. She even wrote and published a children's book titled Are You With Me? A story about coping with the loss of a father.
Yeah, strange. She was pushing a book right after her husband died. Does that remind you of anybody? Does anybody else come to mind when we talk about pushing a book right after the husband dies? And yeah, she's been full of information and advice, maybe not necessarily advice, but information on how to cope with these things, talking about her faith and how much God has been helping her through all this, and her turning point family and all that. So, yeah, seems like they got kind of similar outlooks on things.
To the outside world, she appeared broken, emotional, real. But investigators began to question something unsettling. What if this grief wasn't genuine? What if it was part of a carefully built image designed to hide something much darker? As the investigation moved,
There's always that option. And guess what? That's why I've always maintained and always will. You have to start close to home. You have to start with the closest to the victim. And as bad as it sucks, they should have started with Erica and then worked their way out. Now, Erica may be perfectly, innocent. I'm not saying she's guilty of anything. But the fact that she was not looked at is it's just a travesty. It's unbelievable.
forward, small pieces of the puzzle began to connect. Detectives traced the source of fentanyl.
What's up, Karen Floyd? Good to see you in the chat.
Uncovered financial fraud, and found forged documents linked to insurance and property deals.
Ooh, documents linked to insurance. Let's see. Were there not some suspicious insurance documents? Matter of fact, I think I did a video on those way back. It was this insurance policy that was written an odd way. Basically, Turning Point USA had loaned out like $300,000 to this other LLC for an insurance policy on Charlie, for all intents and purposes. The thing about it is when it paid out, it didn't pay out to Charlie Kirk or Erica Kirk or anything like that, or the kids. It paid out to, and so this insurance policy was taken out by this small LLC. Like I said, the $300,000 was just technically a loan to this LLC. When the thing paid out, it didn't pay out to anybody specifically. It paid out to the CEO of TPUSA, no matter who that happened to be. So that answers one question. Why did Erica have to be put in that position and put in that position so quickly, or at least to me it does, allegedly? Because they couldn't have that big old up to $50 million life insurance policy going to just anybody. There's always life insurance oddities in these type situations, aren't there? Again, As far as I know, no law enforcement or anything has questioned that, looked into it, or even mentioned it. Strange.
Her digital activity raised more questions, and the earlier poisoning attempt became impossible to ignore. Slowly, a pattern started to form, one that pointed toward planning, not coincidence. By May 2023, authorities had seen enough. Kouri Richins was arrested and charged with multiple serious crimes, including aggravated murder and attempted murder. What once looked like a tragic loss was now being treated as a calculated act. When the trial began in February 2026, the courtroom became the center of a battle between two narratives. The prosecution presented a clear and chilling story that Kouri had planned her husband's death for financial gain and personal freedom. They connected the poisoning attempt, the financial motive, and the fatal overdose into one continuous chain. The defense argued that the case relied heavily on circumstantial evidence and lacked direct proof. But as each detail was laid out, the story became harder to dismiss, because sometimes, even without a single direct moment caught.
Yeah, there's some stories that, folks like me and others have been, sharing, screaming about, yelling from the rooftops about that really need to be addressed, and they're hard to ignore, at least by certain of us that are objective and want to know what actually happened.
On camera, the truth becomes impossible to ignore. On March 16, 2026, the jury stepped away to decide Kouri's fate. It could have
What's up, Nosy? Good to see you.
taken days.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you've seen my post, but it was last minute. I was having technical difficulties. StreamYard was down. I couldn't do anything. And then right before I got ready to go to work, I tried it again, and bam, it worked. So this is going to be a short and sweet one. But just go back and hit the replay for me, and make sure y'all comment and everything on it. Like it, please. Please like it.
Or maybe weeks. But instead, it took just 3 hours. When they returned, their decision was clear: guilty on all counts. In that moment, the image of a grieving wife disappeared completely, replaced by the reality of a convicted killer. The transformation was final, and there was no turning back.
It's amazing how a little small, sweet, pretty, teary-eyed, quote unquote grieving widow, how that can be just a facade, and there can be something way, way more disturbing and way uglier underneath. And again, that is why I say I'm not accusing her of anything. I'm not saying she's guilty of anything, but she has to be looked at. It's plain and simple.
After the verdict, the court sentenced Kouri Richins to 25 years to life in prison. The sentence reflected the calculated nature of the crime and the life that had been taken. A woman who once stood in front.
And if on a worst case scenario, they were to find that she did have some type of foreknowledge or something, you want to talk about calculation, how much calculation would have gone into that. We all know how complicated this thing has been. Talk about calculated.
Of cameras, as a grieving widow would now spend years behind bars. Her story, once filled with sympathy, had turned into something far darker. But the most unsettling part of this case isn't just how it ended, it's what came before. Eric had already suspected that something was wrong. He had already voiced his fear, and still, it didn't stop what was coming.
Again, very interesting parallel. Charlie voiced his fear. We know for a fact he voiced his fear to Dan Flood, his head of security at Turning Point. Told him he thought they were going to kill him. And just like with this guy here, voicing the fear didn't do any good. Came for him anyway.
Which leaves one question that's hard to ignore. How do you protect yourself when the danger is the person you trust the most?
Well, I mean, I guess you think you can hire you a really good security detail, one that will be totally loyal and never do anything to harm you, or would always go above and beyond and put their life on the line to save yours. But again, we see that that's not necessarily always the way it works.
If you like the video, then please subscribe and leave a like and a nice comment.
All right, guys, that was a short and sweet video, but I wanted to give y'all I wanted to give y'all a little teaser so you could kind of see where I was going with that. Like, there are some strange parallels. I think it's very, very interesting to just, if nothing else, it's just, hey, more true crime. We're doing true crime. So if nothing else, you know, that's all it is. But I do think that we can draw quite a few parallels, and maybe those parallels don't mean anything. But the biggest thing to me is, you know, she had everybody fooled from the beginning. She put on a good game face. She did shed tears. She made it all believable. But in this situation, she hasn't had anybody fooled from the very beginning. And in spite of that, nobody's asking any questions. It's just assumed that she would never do that. And maybe she wouldn't. I'd like to think she wouldn't. But I got questions. I got questions, guys. I got serious questions. What about y'all? Yeah, Nosy. Yep, I agree. I think so. Yeah, because then he wouldn't have had to have only relied on, you know, his security detail, at least then, especially since there are very strong indicators of at least some amount of foreign involvement in this whole thing. So, yeah. Kelly, that could be. Now, Candace did say that she could prove it. I don't know exactly if that means she could prove that there was an appointment, or only that she could prove that Erica said there was an appointment. So I'm not sure, but I know she did say she could prove it. Whatever that means. So greedy bitches don't even think about the kids. That is so sad. It really, really is. It is. Yeah. And AC, absolutely. And you know, it's basically the same situation for Charlie's kids. I mean, like, maybe not. I mean, obviously their mother hasn't been convicted of any crime, but still, it's still sad, because we all know at the end of the day that he was taken out just like this guy was for, you know, greed, you know, power, all of that good stuff. And it's sad. And then, you know, it's almost, I don't know. It's almost worse in this situation, because they do have a mother that could be there for them and just, you know, help them through all this. But instead, you know, she's out. You know, you ever seen a dog sit there in the yard and watch until a vehicle starts to come by, and then all of a sudden they take off running after it? That's kind of how I think about Erica with a video camera. She's always looking for one. She sees a video camera going by, man, she's after it. I'm sorry, Lord, I apologize. Oh man. Anyway, guys, I hope this was okay. I know it's very short, but I wanted to do something. Like I said, I had plans. I wanted to go live at 9:00, and StreamYard said no, not happening. So I guess we'll be back. I tell you what, if I can, I'm going to go live again tonight. and cover what I was planning on covering this morning. I'm going to try my best, guys. I'm not going to promise. Just be watching for notifications. I will put up a post if I am going to, but of course, worst case scenario, God willing, and the StreamYard allows, I'll be back here regardless tomorrow morning. So, but I'm going to try to, do at least a little while tonight. So, kind of to help make up for this morning. I appreciate y'all coming out and showing up for me. I was concerned being that last minute. So anyway, guys, please like the video, share as usual. And yeah, anybody obviously that hears this in the future, look at there's Boomer. I hadn't seen you in a while, Boomer. Very, very nice to see you. You're going to have to, you're slacking, Boomer. You're going to have to start popping up in chat more often. But yes, anyway, guys, again, I appreciate y'all showing up. It means the world. If anybody can and would, I do have my 3 links pinned to the top of the chat and in the description of the video. That is what is that's what I'm trying to use to get me by until I can get monetized, which is getting closer and closer by the day. It all adds up, 5, 10, 20, whatever you can do, whatever you can spare would be a huge blessing. But of course, your time and showing up is worth more than anything. But yeah, if anybody could, like I said, there's 3 different links there, depending on which flavor you prefer: Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. So, and basically, what I do with that money, I'll use to pay my StreamYard subscription. And trust me, not trying to get rich here. At least with that, hopefully the YouTube channel can at least pay for itself. That's all I'm shooting for right now. So we'll worry about making money later. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for showing up. Thank you. And look, we'll try to do this tonight. Just be watching for a post. Like I said, if not, I'll be back here in the morning, hopefully at the normal time. So thank y'all again. God bless y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will see y'all real soon right here. Thanks.